Good morning, Reptilians. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Elle, and this is Elle's Reptiles. This week, we're going to talk about something that I honestly never thought that I would go through, that I would feel. And that's why I feel like it's super important to make this video, because it's something that I'm actively going through right now, something that I'm actively trying to dig myself out of right now, and that is reptile burnout and just kind of burning out of caring for reptiles. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people go through, especially if you have a lot of animals, and so I thought that I would put it into a video so that we can talk about it and share experiences. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by our geckos, so make sure to stay until the end of the video to find out all about this awesome company. Let's get started. Just want to say, before we get into this, being burnt out does not mean that you love your animals any less than you ever did. It is perfectly okay to be burnt out. Being burnt out doesn't mean that you're burnt out of your animals. It just means that you're burnt out of the continuous care that has to go into the animals, if that makes sense. You telling me that you're burnt out does not mean that I think any less of you as a reptile owner. I just feel like that needs to be said, needs to be gotten out of the way. It's okay to be burnt out of anything. People get burnt out of jobs that they're passionate about all the time, and it is perfectly okay and it's perfectly normal. So I think for me personally, actually I know for me personally, a lot of this has to do with medical issues and all the appointments I have to go to, and so all of that stacked on top of trying to care for all the reptiles, that is what has built up, and that is what definitely has contributed to burnout, especially when you have days where you feel sick and off, which, full disclosure, has been a lot for me lately. It's kind of piling up. That's how we've gotten here. First thing that we're going to talk about is why it happens. So on this channel, we've always tried to normalize things that happen to a lot of people. So being a beginner to keeping reptiles, being new to things, making mistakes, these are all very normal things that happen, and they are things that shouldn't make you feel bad when they happen. And being burnt out of taking care of your reptiles is one of those things that shouldn't make you feel bad. You shouldn't feel guilty about it, because it is a very normal thing that happens, and that is why we are here and we're talking about it. So why does it happen? Why do you feel burnt out, or why have you felt burnt out of taking care of those reptiles? Super easy, super simple, really. It happens the same reason all burnout happens. The repetitive doing the same thing over and over and over. You have all these adorable, they're so great, they're so fantastic, but they are these living creatures that depend on you, they rely on you, and your time, even if you are having a bad day, even if you are sick or you have other things going on in life, those animals depend on you, and you have to power through whatever you are going through to take care of those animals, and it gets exhausting. Also, on top of that, if you do happen to create content around your animals, the added pressure on top of that of always being excited about those animals, even if you are burnt out, can add another additional weight on top of the already burnt out feeling. So that adds a whole other layer as well. No matter if you make content or not, burnout is very real and very valid. Next up, we're going to talk about signs that you are burnt out. How do you know that this is what is happening? Because it's not always super obvious in your face at first. So one of the biggest things, and I think the biggest thing for me, is just feeling guilty about not wanting to do all of the things all of the time. If you normally take out your bearded dragon every single day, and suddenly you don't want to do that one day and you feel really bad about it, and that kind of becomes a pattern, you're probably starting to get burnt out. If you kind of procrastinate doing things like cleaning tanks or taking shed out of tanks, or I don't know, feeding snakes rodents, you kind of keep putting things off until tomorrow, that is another sign of burnout. If you are procrastinating, big one for me is cleaning water spots off of glass. That's a huge one for me, because it's not one that is a health hazard, but it's also one that is kind of an eyesore. So in my brain, I can rationalize just constantly putting it off. That's probably a sign of burnout. And kind of to go along with that one, if doing these things, these care things, used to be therapeutic for you, they used to be like a passionate thing for you, because not everyone enjoys cleaning tanks, not everyone enjoys all of the aspects of reptile keeping. Super normal, super fine, super okay. But if those things used to be therapeutic for you, if those things used to bring joy to you and now they feel like chores, that is definitely a sign that you are burned out. And obviously a huge one is if you suddenly feel the need to rehome all your animals, you suddenly feel the need need to just shut down everything that is probably the final straw, the biggest sign that you are burnt out and you can't do it anymore. First of all, obviously, always do what is best for your health and what's best for the health of your animals. But if you've done that, then most likely you are not here watching this video right now. So let's carry on to the next section. What do you do if you realize that you are experiencing reptile burnout? First, if you are just experiencing burnout here and there, if you're spending all of your time taking care of reptiles, try doing something else. This is just the simplest of the things. Try getting your head out of that world, whether it's watching movies, watching TV, reading books. Try just little things. But if you are way past that point, like I am, if you're way past the point of being able to just sit down and play a video game and take your mind off of it for a few minutes and jump right back in, that's perfectly okay too. You can also just take a step back for a little bit. That's okay. If you need to stop handling your reptiles every single day or every other day and just focus on necessities, cleaning out water bowls, feeding them, just the bare necessities, spot cleaning, waste out of that tank, that's okay. Your reptile isn't going to be mad at you for not handling them every day. Your reptile doesn't feel those emotions in the same way that a dog feels those emotions or a human feels emotions. It's okay if you need to pull back on that a little bit. I did a video last week, a few weeks ago, called Lazy Reptile Keeping, Lazy Reptile Care, which kind of was a preface to this video of basically some things that you can do to do less in your reptile keeping, which involve things like setting up lights on timers, pre-preparing batches of gecko food, things like that. That can help immensely with this. So that way you're doing a bunch at one time and then you're not having to do a lot later, if that makes any sense. Things like that can help so that you're not feeling like you're taking care of reptiles 24/7 all day, every day. Another thing you can do if you're feeling up to it, which always tends to help me, if you're feeling up to it, really big thing there, is redesign an enclosure. This is a big one. If you're feeling up to it, redesigning an enclosure can help so much. If you've been staring at that same enclosure for 3 or 4 years, redo the whole thing. Take out the plants and the hides and everything. I know this is easier said than done, especially if you're in burnout or especially if there is a financial issue with this, which 1000% I get it. Plants are expensive, decorations are expensive, but if you have like a stash of these things and you can just kind of rearrange or just switch some things out or just rearrange what's already in there. Just redesigning what you have so that you're looking at something new and exciting, a lot of times can work wonders on making you want to actually get back into that tank. I always used to say that one of my favorite parts of reptile keeping was designing tanks. And it is because you're basically making little living art pieces that you get to stare at and enjoy all the time. Again, if you're already burnt out, this may not be an option because you may not be able to find the energy, find the spoons to do it. But if you can, this could potentially pull you a little bit, at least, out of that burnout and make you excited to get back into that tank again. The next one is get assistance in caring for those animals if it is at all possible. So if you feel like you are overwhelmed, you're going to get burned out quickly. Being overwhelmed is like one of the quickest pathways to burnout. If you have a friend or a family member or someone who is willing to come in and help you, whether it be helping you clean, helping you redesign tanks, helping you handle animals, anything at all, let that person help you, because that just, it's gonna help. It's gonna help you so incredibly much. I know a lot of us don't like asking for help. I don't like asking for help, but it is okay to ask for help, and it's going to help you not to get burned out when you feel like you have someone there that you can depend on, especially if you're in a situation where you get sick or you have things that you have to get done or you have to care for someone else that's sick. If you have someone that you can pull in to help you during those difficult times, is going to work wonders in preventing getting to the point of being burnt out. Along the same lines, finding a community of other people that love reptiles can also be helpful, whether this is a Facebook group or a group on Reddit or even on YouTube. It can be super helpful. I'm not saying that you have to participate in any sort of talking, even if it's just going to reptile shows and looking. You don't even have to go to reptile shows if you don't want to. If you are super introverted like me, you don't have to talk to anyone ever. You can just scroll through Facebook pages or Instagram pages and just lurk at other people's animals. Sometimes that can help make just feeling like you're a part of that, just joining pages, just that feeling of community and of belonging to something and of other people being passionate about what you're passionate about can sometimes help you as well. But that is it. That's all that I have for this video. Hopefully it was helpful. Hopefully at least something in this video can help you out at least a little bit. If you have gone through this, please leave any tips that you have down in the comments below so that you can help me out or help someone else out. Or if you are currently going through this and you are finding things that are working, please leave those things in the comments below so that you can also help me or someone else out. It is very, very helpful. It's always super helpful to start that conversation. I love seeing it and I appreciate those that do that. I said at the beginning of this video is sponsored by iHeartGeckos. iHeartGeckos is an awesome company that makes conversion kits for your reptiles. These conversion kits allow you to simply take a glass tank that you have laying around, put the conversion kit in, put a line of silicone in, and now you have a front opening tank for your critters. You can do so much with these. Super inexpensive way to turn inexpensive glass tanks into front opening tanks. Love this company. If you happen to order one of these from iHeartGeckos.com, make sure to leave those reptiles in the How Did You Hear About Us box. That way they know that you guys are coming from here. Thank you so much to iHeartGeckos for continuing to sponsor these videos. If you haven't already, please feel free to follow me on socials and like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications every single time I put a new video, which is some Sundays, and occasionally I do shorts on Wednesdays. This week's subscriber shout out is here. Thank you so much for subscribing and commenting and being super supportive and all that jazz. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You are the bee's knees. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye. All right. Test. Ooh. Test. Volume. You're zoomed way out today. Losing my pants. Get a little. Okay, maybe you can't see all the chaos in this room. Is that good? Okay, we're gonna, well, I'll do another clip for that. Oh, I didn't do sponsored. What's today? It's gonna be April. Okay.